What's going on, guys? So I'm going to show you in this video how to wire up mk4 golfer Jetta fog lights. It's usually the kits that they're getting off eBay, Amazon. They come with a wiring harness, a relay, a fuse, but they don't really give you instructions. So the first time I did it a couple years ago, I had to look it up. So maybe this video can help you guys out. It's pretty straightforward. You're just going to need flathead screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver, 10mm socket, ratchet, some dikes, wire cutter, something to strip wire with, and black electrical tape. Definitely try to get some heat shrink if you can. Be a lot better, make it watertight, especially the wires that are on the bottom of the bumper. They're going to be getting hit by water. Other than that, yeah, I'm going to take you through the process little by little. So yeah. Alright, so here's the fog lights I got. They come in usually a set of 2. Alright, so it replaces these vents on each side. There's going to be 2 wires coming out of each fog light. Obviously red is usually power or positive, and black is usually always ground. So you got to remember that when you're wiring them up. This one came with the harness right here. So you got your fuse. This goes to this relay, and then the positive comes out and hooks to the battery. Same thing with the ground. You're gonna have a ground coming out of the relay as well. That's gonna hook straight to a terminal on the negative ground side of the battery. Then out of the relay, you have an orange and black wire coming out. That's gonna run down, and most of them come with a split, so it'll be one big wire, and you'll have one coming out here, and it'll stretch down farther, and it'll have 2 connections coming out there. So that's going to be your positive ground for each light. Basically what you do, take off the little covers that sit there. Okay, there's going to be 2. There's going to be a cover over where the headlight is, and there's going to be another cover right here that's part of this little induction vent system that loops around. 2 Phillips head screws, just pop it off. It's gonna be hard to see, but there's gonna be a little hole down here by the side of the battery where you can just loop the beginning of the harness through, let it drop down. Take off your bottom skid plate on your bumper, and then when you loop it through, the wire will be hanging down here somewhere. You just grab it, fish it up through here, just pull it through, run it along the bumper, and then run your other side out over there. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. You're just running the main part of the harness all the way down through here, through the top, and then maybe secure it. The horn sits inside here, so maybe secure it with some zip ties once you stretch it out and get the length and get it ran to where you want it, to where it's gonna reach the each light. And then you just wire up your lights, whether you use connectors from Home Depot, just crimp them on. You can use plug connectors. You can just strip the wires and twist them together, and then use electrical tape or heat shrink or something. Just be careful. Make sure you do a good job on that so water doesn't get inside there. Then you're gonna have this switch. You're gonna have some type of switch that comes with it. The switch is gonna have a green wire coming out. That's the main wire for the switch that turns it on and off. Then the switch is gonna have another power wire. So If you don't want to use the headlight switch inside, which is right there next to the steering wheel, if you don't want to pull that out and wire it up, you're going to take this ground and also, or this power wire, excuse me, and also put it to the positive side of the battery with the power wire that's already coming out of the relay. So you're going to put those together, and that'll just operate it off the switch. If you want to wire it up to the headlight, to the relays that work for the headlights, you pull this switch out. You just push it in, turn it, and pull out. And then you're going to want to find a diagram. I'm not sure exactly which pin it is. I think it's NL or N1. You're going to get a connector, crimp it on your wire. You're going to run this through the dash and underneath the dashboard. I'll show you that in a second. The little hole in the firewall you're supposed to go through. And you're going to put in that pin for the headlight plug. And what that's gonna do is turn the fog lights off when the brights come on. That's pretty much the only reason to do that. So I suggest just skipping that, wiring it straight up to the battery, and then run your switch through the firewall into the cockpit and just switch it on and off manually. It's a lot easier, a lot less hassle. Side note, never work on electrical with your battery hooked up. Always undo your ground, if not both, your power wire and your ground off the battery, just to be safe, you know what I mean? Alright guys, so we're under the car. Okay, this is where your pedals are, to give you a perspective view. Alright, there's going to be usually a little plate that sits right here, underneath the steering wheel. It's called the kick plate. It goes over the pedals. It's probably T30 or T25 torque bits. I think it's like 4 or 5. Just look around, undo them, and just pull it off. Mine's already off, so as you can see right up there, this is the clutch pedal. Right up there on the side underneath, you see that main harness going through. It's a little hole in the firewall. What you're going to want to do is take your wires, get like a long extension, tape the end to it where the plug connects, like disconnect the plug so it's just a plug in the wire, and then tape it to an extension, push it through that hole very slowly, kind of wiggle it, make sure it goes smooth. If it's hard to go through, do not try to push it. Might puncture some wires in the harness, so just be real careful. And then let me show you where it's going to come on the other side. Alright, so when it comes out, it's going to come out next to the brake booster and this fuse box right here. It's going to come out somewhere down in here. If you push it through far enough with a long enough extension, you should be able to see it. Just grab it and pull it through, and then run your wires, you know, tuck them wherever you want. So that's the basics of it. And then you connect your switch. Once you get all this wired up, just secure it somewhere with a zip tie, you know, hide it down in there. Just make it look all neat. That part's up to you, whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's the basics of it. Should only take you a couple hours, you know what I mean? It's not really a hard job, it's just tedious, and just make sure you run the wires right and you don't mess anything up. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm still getting the garage together. I'm about to put a bench in along this wall right here, so I can have my vise, you know, place to hammer on stuff, etc. Toolbox is gonna go over there. I'm gonna get an air compressor over here soon. I just got a TV hooked up in the garage, which I'm pretty happy about. I never had a TV in any of my garages, so it's movable too. It moves from side to side. So it's really nice to have music playing on it, or just have TV going in the background. I got the Motor Trend channel always playing in the background. It used to be Velocity, but now it's Motor Trend. It's got stuff like Overhauling, Bitchin' Rides, every like pretty, you know, fabrication car show you can think of. So it's pretty cool to just have this in the background while I'm working on something, and then they're working on cars at the same time. It just It's kind of relaxing. But yeah, get my stuff together. Got a junkyard Jetta sitting over there in the driveway. Been driving her around, breaking the new clutch in. And yeah. So I hope that helps with your fog light installation. Most of those cheap eBay, Amazon kits, they don't come with instructions. So it's pretty straightforward. For the headlight switch wiring for the relay, so that the whole brights turning on and off thing I was telling you about. If you want it wired to the inside switch, you definitely want to just look up the diagram and what pin to put it in. And that's only one wire that you're running for that. So, wagon's coming along. I'm going to be mounting the fog lights, and then I'm going to be putting 2 fog lights in the middle, separate. So I should have 4 altogether. And hopefully I can blind the fuck out of somebody. Alright guys, well, hope you have a good day, and more videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.